Hello team, today's challenge is letter and number count, where we're given a string and we need to figure out what the count of letters and what the count of numbers are. Hopefully should be pretty straightforward. There is a small wrinkle in here where we have to return a string, and that wrinkle comes in the form of letters versus letter. So we have to take care of singular versus plural, but we should be able to get it done, okay? Over to the code. We are going to start off with letters. Let's start there, okay? Letters is going to be string dot replace, and we are going to create a regular expression, and it's going to be any character that is not, that's what the caret means. So any character that is not A to Z. Notice that I did not do uppercase. We don't need that because we're going to make it global, and we're going to make it case insensitive, which takes care of both uppercase and lowercase. So covered, okay? Then we replace it with nothing, basically. So anything that is not a letter, we replace it, we get rid of it, problem solved, okay? The last bit of this is just returning the length, because that's all we really care about here, okay? So there's that. We're going to do this one. This is going to be numbers. And inside of here is going to be 0 to 9 with the length. Numbers aren't uppercase, lowercase, so you can get rid of the I here, right? If you wanted to, it doesn't really hurt anything, but a little thing, okay? The next thing is to figure out our plurals, okay? So here we have letter plurals, okay? And that's going to be letters dot, not dot, just letters equal to 1, okay? If that is equal to 1, then we return letter. Otherwise, we return letters. Notice that I'm not just controlling the S here, and there's very good reason for that. Normally, we'd probably get this from some sort of a dictionary that would already have the singular versus the plural in it. So we could just grab whichever one we needed to. Today we're doing it very manually, which means that we're going to do it this way. But let's say we weren't doing letters. Let's say we were doing fruit, okay? Apples has a final S. Bananas has a final S. Strawberries doesn't, okay? So strawberries. It's not just about the S. There are different rules for that, at least in English. So we need to be careful. And the easiest way to do that is with full words. So that's what I'm doing today, and that's how we'll continue to do it with numbers, okay? So right here, I'm going to grab all this, and right there, change it all to number, okay? So number plurals, if numbers is equal to 1, it's number, otherwise numbers, okay? From here, we just need our string. So grabbing all this between the quotes, copying it, getting rid of this, using backticks, pasting it in because we are going to change stuff. So we need that template literal, okay? The X goes away, boom. Not with a P, that's weird. Letters goes away. Y goes away. Numbers goes away, okay? Because we're going to replace these with our variables. So we have letters this way, and then we have letter plurals, okay? And right here we have numbers and number plurals. Brilliant. And that does it, okay? It's as simple as that. There are some things that I want to do, though. If I was getting this as an interview question, I would definitely want to focus on the fact that there is some repeating code in here. And repeating code, we should try to simplify it, okay? So I'm going to grab all this, copy it, comment it away, bringing it down, and refining it, okay? The first refinement is I want to break out a function for this replacement, okay? So we can go function, spelling it right. There we go. We're going to call it get only cars. Probably a better name for that, but this one works today, okay? Inside of there, we're going to pass in the string and the regular expression, and we are going to return this, okay? Not the length, sorry, that's weird. What is it doing? There it is, okay. Just this part here, We need that space in there, so the string and the regular expression, okay? That's it. But now we can control this. We can test it, right? And if we needed to change, as an example, if we wanted to change these two strings, we only need to change it in one place. So let's go and use it. We're going to replace all of this, multiple cursors, get only cars. Brilliant. The string goes in the first. We have the regular expression jumping to the end and getting rid of that, okay? Everything still works because all we've done is removed some of our code. We've abstracted it away, okay? Again, we can test this function. If this function works, then this is not where our problem is. Makes sense, right? We can test it with this string and this regular expression, and we should get a valid result, okay? We should be able to test against that. So there's that. The next part is right here, right? With these plurals. There are two ways to do this, okay? And I want to explore both really fast. I like the second better, but I do want to cover off the first, okay? So again, copying, doing this. Actually, you know what? Copying all of this. Brilliant. Commenting, it's going to make those comments look a little bit funny, but that's okay. Right here, I want to create a const. I want to call this PR for plural rules, okay? Plural rules. That is a bit of a mouthful when I'm saying it, plural rules. But inside of here, we go new intl. And on there, we have capital P plural rules, okay? There are lots of different options here that we could play with, but the only one we need today is to tell it that it is English, which I think is the default. So you could actually leave this off. I'm going to put it in there because I like it, okay? But now we can use this to determine whether our letters are one or more, okay? And when I say more, I actually mean other, because in the English set of language, plural rules, if it is a 1, you will get a string 1, O-N-E, back. And if it is anything else, then you will get other, which covers off 0. 0 should be plural, 2 should be plural, even all the negatives should be plural, okay? Everything is plural except for the number 1. And we can use this to our advantage. So down here, instead of all this, we can change it. And the thing that I forgot was I need these to be accessible up here, okay? So this is going to be const, what are we calling it? I'll call it L plurals equals new map. Did I need a map? Probably not, but I'm going to keep using it, okay? So we have 1, okay? If we pass in 1, we are returning letter. That should be in quotes. I don't know why I didn't do that. Brilliant. And then down here, other is letters, okay? And we do the same thing with numbers. Again, I would really prefer that this be in some sort of a dictionary where we could just access all the different words that we need, but that's not how we're given it today. So a little bit of manual stuff, but we can get it done. So this is number, okay? And this is n plurals for number of plurals. Naming things is hard. Pick better names, okay? But now that we have this, we can use that because when we go pr.select with a number, it's going to return 1 or other, which we can then access on these maps to get the singular or the plural version of each of these words, okay? That brings us down here, okay? Let's correct this. This all goes away, and we go with what? Well, we change it to L plurals dot get, because it's a map, right? And pr dot select letters, okay? Letters, brilliant. This hopefully still works. It does, which means that we can grab all of this, copying it, clearing the numbers part out, changing some of these variable names to be the right ones. Excellent, okay? Which leads to my question, okay, we're accessing the stuff and we're bringing in an interface that is quite heavy, okay? The INTL interface has a lot of rules behind it. And really all we're doing is we're changing these two words from singular to plural, right? Do we need INTL plural rules? Well, we don't, okay? And so if I go and grab this all again, just like this, copying it, bringing it down, excellent. Now what I want to do is I want to get rid of this, okay? Because I want to change it just a little bit, which means that I need to change this, multiple cursors for the win. This one right here, again, multiple cursors for the win. I picked 2, okay? But you can use any key name you want. The only key is that 1 needs to be 1. Anything else, like if you wanted this to stay other, you can leave it there, okay? In case you decide you want to use INTL plural rules, okay? For now, I'm going to go with a 2, and we can go down here and change stuff. But before that, we need one more function, okay? This function is going to be called getPlurals, okay? And we are going to send in the count and the word map, okay? Which reminds me that it is in fact a map that we're passing in. Again, if we were using TypeScript, we'd probably have some types in here and the world would be gold, okay? But right here, we copy this, bringing it right up, okay? And we are going to return it. Now, PR select, no, not really, okay? Instead, we're just returning whatever count is, okay? And L plurals, no, it's going to be word map, okay? The problem with this is that anything other than 1 or 2 is going to return undefined. So my thinking here, at least for now, right, is to default it to 2, okay? So again, if the count is 1, then we get this. If it's anything else, well, I guess 2 would also get numbers. But if it is anything else, it will be undefined, and we will get the plural form, okay? Which means that now we can use this. We go down here, clearing this out, pasting it in, and doing some work. What are we doing? Well, we get the count, which is letters, and we get our plural set, okay? So right here, pasting it in. Why? If I had it up here, why couldn't I just drop it in? Well, because right now these are globals, and I don't want to be accessing globals. I kind of did that up here, right? It's hard to test that way, because if your globals ever change, that creates side effects. It's harder to test. Whereas doing it this way, passing it in, means that I have a function that is testable and easier to maintain. Easier to maintain is easier to debug, hopefully, okay? So I pass in that variable, even though I could have just used it. It's at a global value, okay? Moving on, we got this. We're gonna, I don't need all of this, sorry. Let's just take this part here, paste it in. This is going to be numbers and plurals, which should work, okay? So at this point, we've added a little bit of code, right? We started out with something that was very, very simple, right? It was, what is that? 7 lines without the returns, right? So 7 lines, and then we kind of broke it out into reusable chunks to make it easier for us. Reusing those, making it easier to test as well, okay? We expanded on our regular expressions a little bit. And then down here, we played around with INTL plural rules. Again, it's very heavy. There's a lot in there. So bringing that in can sometimes slow down your app. Performance testing for the win, okay? Always be testing. But in this case, we didn't have a lot of complexity here, right? We used it, but not much complexity. So we created our own little plural mapping function, okay? We had these maps here. Again, I would much prefer those be in some sort of a overarching dictionary that we can just access when we need to. But for today, there they are. We get it. If the count doesn't exist inside of here, we just default it to 2, because anything other than 1 is the plural form. So this works. Maybe there's an easier way to do this. Maybe I'm missing something. Hit me up in those comments, okay? But for now, we have that. We have a bunch of stuff that's easily testable, and our code outputs exactly what we need. Did you do this a different way? Do you like this solution? Do you hate it? Hit me up in those comments. Otherwise, for today, this has been letter and number count, and I will see you tomorrow.